Tshemba Foundation was started in 2014 by an ex-South African who left the country in the deep, dark years of apartheid and didn't come back for 30 years. And then with the change in the democracy since 1994, he came back to South Africa to visit a friend in the Tshemba. And while on a game drive, one of the game rangers said to him, "We have children who walk for miles to reach a school. Would you build us a school closer? We have a principal, we have teachers and so on." And he did. And at the opening of the school, the chief of the area was at the opening and said, "Would you build us a clinic now?" So he said, "Well, before I build further, let me look into what you have, what facilities you have." And when he looked around, he saw that there were in fact 14 very well-equipped clinics affiliated to the main hospital, but they had no patients, and the reason was because there were no doctors. So he said, you don't need structures, you need resources. The Tshemba Foundation is an organization that recruits medical doctors from South Africa and around the world to volunteer their time at mainly Tshemba Hospital, which is situated in Mpumalanga. It's a District 1 hospital. It serves about 10,000 patients a month, 450-bed hospital, but only 10 doctors. The accommodation that we offer to the doctors is 5-star. We're situated in a nature conservancy. We have a house and we have 9 bungalows, each one accommodating 2 people. In addition to that is a main centre which has got the kitchen, dining room, lounge, pool area, boma, gym, TV room. And the reason for that is to encourage doctors at the end of the day to socialise with the other doctors, to mingle, to discuss their day in the hospital, to share stories, to share ideas, and for them to not feel isolated in their bungalows. So catering equipment is very limited within the bungalow. There's only a kettle, you can make a cup of tea, but any form of cooking, any form of eating takes place in the main centre where the doctors can get together. The accommodation is free but on a self-catering basis, but we found that the doctors love to get together in the evenings, do a braai, share experiences, share their food, and generally have a very sociable evening in the absolute beautiful conditions surrounding our lodge.
Okay, cool.
The accommodation is about 20 minutes from the hospital on a very good road, so we don't expect our volunteers to drive through potholes and villages and dodge goats and cows. It's a very easy drive on a very good tarred road on the R40. The main town is Hoedspruit. We're about 20 kilometers outside Hoedspruit, and the hospital is a further 20 minutes away from our conservancy. We do a lot of marketing in medical journals, emails, websites, volunteer programs to recruit doctors and to get ourselves known. We've only been active since 2017, and since then we've been on a big marketing drive to attract doctors. The volunteer program is specifically for doctors. We don't encourage nurses. In fact, we don't take nurses because the hospital has a full complement of nurses. And really what's lacking is skills, doctor skills, medical skills. So while it's very good to have cardiologists, ENT specialists, gynecologists and so on, because there's so few doctors in the hospital, GPs are very valuable too. Most people come to this hospital with minor complaints. Although they do perform quite a lot of operations, it is what's called a District 1 hospital, which means that it's the first port of call for a patient. If they have something seriously wrong with them, then they'll move on to a hospital in Bushbuck Ridge, which is about 50 kilometers away from Tshemba, and there the facilities are bigger. So really, we encourage all kinds of doctors to come, but GPs are probably the most valuable. We have found that so many of the patients are extremely grateful for the quality of healthcare that they're getting from our volunteers. For example, a diabetic patient who may never see a diabetic specialist, or an HIV patient who has skin problems who may never see a dermatologist, now gets the opportunity to see a specialist, and the problem that they have can be correctly diagnosed rather than a guess from a generalist doctor who may not know specifically what is wrong with them. In addition to our core function, which is to recruit volunteer doctors, we've also built a women's clinic in the grounds of the Clockamela Clinic, which is essentially a primary healthcare and HIV and AIDS clinic. We've provided an ultrasound machine, and we have a sonographer on our books, and we're able to provide breast, cervical and abdominal screening for women for early detection of cancer. This has never happened in the area before, and we're now even moving into antenatal screening. So we're really providing a very big service for the women in the area, and then if there is a problem, there is a referral chain that we can send the women to with hospitals that deal with oncology. We're getting more and more requests from doctors from abroad, and one of the basic necessities for an overseas doctor is that they need to be registered with our Health Professions Council in South Africa. So we do that registration on their behalf. There's a whole lot of documents which they have to provide, but we are able to register foreign doctors with our Health Professions Council, which makes them eligible for doing complete patient care in Tshemba Hospital. If doctors are keen to get in touch, if they want to find out more about what we do, if they're keen to volunteer, then the best would be for them to either go to our website, which is www.tshembafoundation.org, or to email Lexi, Lexi, at tshembafoundation.org.